Ain't nobody high and mighty in these halls, except in the Jarl. And don't you forget. Don't you go tracking your dirty boots on my clean floor. Soldiers. They're everywhere these days, and not a one of them knows how to pick up after themselves. Yeah? What? Yes?
I might just be a servant among lords, but don't think for a moment I don't take my duties as seriously as the Jarl himself takes his. If my cleaning gets in your way, just say the word and I'll be off. This here is Dragon's Reach, and it's my task to see it looks fit for a Jarl night and day. Need something?
Cause trouble in Whiterun, and I'll haul you into the Dragon's Reach dungeon myself. I'd be a lot warmer and a lot happier with a belly full of mead. They say Ulfric Stormcloak murdered the High King with his voice, shouted him apart. Need supplies? See Bellathor at his store. Sleazy little man, but he has good stock. Stay out of trouble, Imperial. Rorikstead's a nice enough little hamlet, but a boring posting for a guard. If a dragon attacks, well, then it'll be a different story. If you need potions, you should try Arcadia's Cauldron. If you're heading east, steer clear of Hilgrud's tomb. Thing about those old crypts, the dead having trouble staying that way.
No lollygagging.
I used to be an adventurer like you. Then I took an arrow in the knee. What do you need? Trouble? Disrespect the law, and you disrespect me.
Father says I'm too young to train with the sword, so I practice with my fists. Father says I'm too young to train with the sword, so I practice with my fists. Another wanderer, here to lick my father's boots. Good job. Another wanderer, here to lick my father's boots. Good job. Another wanderer, here to lick my father's boots. Good job.
Absurd that you can't cook good sweet rolls in the skeever hole of a city. Absurd that you can't cook good sweet rolls in the skeever hole of a city.
Oh, I thought you were already on your way to Bleak Falls Barrow. So, you wish to master the arcane arts? I had you figured for a mage. I think you'll appreciate this.
Say it with your own tongue.
Off to Bleak Falls Barrow with you. The Jarl is... not a patient man. Neither am I, come to think. Oh, I thought you were already on your way to Bleak Falls Barrow. An old tomb, built by the ancient Nords, perhaps dating back to the Dragon War itself. Ah, maybe you just want to know how to get there. It's near Riverwood, a miserable little village a few miles south of here. I'm sure some of the locals can point you in the right direction once you get there. Well, must preserve some professional secrets, mustn't we? I'm not surprised you've never heard of it. Even I used to think it was just a myth. But not anymore. The Dragon War was a real event, although only the barest glimmer of the actual events has come down to us. Far back in the Mythic era, the dragons were worshipped as gods in Skyrim. Many of the monumental ruins that still dot the landscape were in fact built as temples to the dragons. The details are lost, but at some point, the Nords rebelled. After a long and terrible war, the Nords overthrew their dragon overlords. Oh no, many were killed. Why, this very palace was built by one of Balgroof's ancestors to hold a captive dragon. Hence its name, Dragon's Reach.
Be gone. Of course, sir.
Sadly, no. My work affords me few opportunities for such an adventure. Perhaps some hero will bring one to Dragon's Reach, like old Olaf one. What a fascinating conversation that would be. I'll put it simply so you'll understand. I advise the Jarl in matters of magic. If the Hold is faced with any threats or mysteries of a magical... Hopefully that answer will satisfy you. Good day. If I said that was a tedious question, would you be smart enough to know what I meant? As long as I'm left alone to pursue my research, I don't care who gives the orders. Now, I'm a busy man, and your pointless questions are boring me terribly. Good day. Oh, I thought you were already on your way to Bleak Falls Barrow. Oh, I thought you were already on your way to Bleak Falls Barrow. Oh, I thought you were already on your way to Bleak Falls Barrow.
Another wanderer, here to lick my father's boots. Good job.
Staying safe, I hope. You look tired, friend. The Bannered Mare has beds for rent.
What is it that you need? If it's the war you refer... No doubt General Tullius and his friends in the Empire will tell you that I owe them my loyalty. And perhaps Ulfric Stormcloak would say that I owe my allegiance to the Nord people as they fight for Skyrim's independence. Perhaps the day might come when I am for... But that day has not come yet.
No doubt, he thought it was the only way to make his point. And also, because he knew he could. Now, if you don't mind, I've got a city to keep.
Ain't nobody high and mighty in these halls except in the Jarl. And don't you forget. Don't you go tracking your dirty boots on my clean floor. Soldiers. They're everywhere these days, and not a... Yes? Need something?
What is it? Disrespect the law and you disrespect me.
What do you need? All this standing around is rubbish. We should be taking the fight to the Stormcloaks. I'm not a man. I'm a weapon in human form. Just unsheath me and point me at the enemy. My brother takes counsel from Proventus Avenici. What a laugh. He takes counsel from his daughter, and she's a bloody blacksmith. Out with it. Need something? Yes?
Be glad you're here in the city and not out in Riverwood. These poor sods don't even have a wall.
Father says I'm too young to train with the sword, so I practice with my fists.
Need something?
What do you need?
Absurd that you can't cook good sweet rolls in the skeever of a city. Get out of here! You need to leave. Absurd that you can't cook good sweet rolls in the skeever hole of a city.
Could you please leave now? You need to leave. 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 Could you please leave now? You need to leave. You need to leave. You need to leave.
Looking to do some hunting, eh? Avoid Brittleshin Pass. It's southeast of here.
You need to leave.
Staying safe, I hope?
You need to leave. You need to leave.
Rorikstead's a nice enough little hamlet, but a boring posting for a god. If a dragon attacks,
You need to
well,
leave.
then it'll be a different story.
What is it, Imperium?
Please leave now. You need to leave. I serve Jarl Balgruff as steward. Ah, splendid. Our fine city has a proud history, and I'm happy to share what I know. The history of Whiterun begins with Jorrvaskr, the Hall of the Companions. For a long time, it was the only building on the mountain. As time passed, a thriving community sprang up around Jorrvaskr, as was common with mead halls. Today, Whiterun is the jewel of Skyrim. I can say without boast that it is the greatest city in all the holds. That is an old tale, but well known to those of us who serve in the keep. Long ago, there lived a mighty hero of the Nords, Olaf One-Eye. Olaf did battle with a fearsome dragon named Numenex. The struggle between Olaf and the dragon culminated in a mighty duel atop Mount Anthor, with Olaf the victor. Olaf returned in triumph to Whiterun. By his decree, the city's keep was rebuilt as a prison for Numenex, and so, from that time until this, our great keep has been called Dragon's Reach. Well, there are 3 of them, arranged in 3 tiers, as you may have noticed. The Plains District is so named because it's the closest of the 3 to the plains that surround the city. The inn and marketplace are found there. Most of the city's residents live in the Wind District, which is the middle of the three. Dragon's Reach occupies the highest, which we call the Cloud District. From here, the Jarl can see all that goes on within his city. Enjoy your visit to Dragon's Reach. You need to leave.
Ain't nobody high and mighty in these halls
You need
except
to
in the
leave.
Jarl. And don't you forget.
You need to leave. You need to leave.
What is it? Dragons? Stormcloaks, Imperials, Jargons. It no matter to me what I kill. Let them come. Stay out of trouble, Imperial. Everything all right? You look tired, friend. The Bannered Mare has beds for rent. What is it, Imperial?
Need supplies? See Belethor at his store. Sleazy little man, but he has good stuff. I'd be a lot warmer and a lot happier with a belly full of mead. No lollygagging.
Fear not. Come dragon or giant, we'll be ready.
Well met, traveler. What brings you to Whiterun? Ah, so it's gold you're after then. You need only ask about it. Plenty of folk in Whiterun with too much fat and gold to be bothered doing anything for themselves. Aye, that I do. Half all my life. We Battleborns have been here since the beginning, along with the Greymaids. Our family's been closest kin for generations, but Ulfric's Stormcloak's uprising has divided us. Now, seems we can scarce look at each other without coming to blows. Petty and foolish, that. They are saying dragons have returned to Skyrim. Now that's a real problem. Ain't sure if they're taking on new members, but you should talk to the companions. They're over in their hall, Jorbasker. If by work, you mean testing your steel in bloody battle. Ah, the most important question of all, that one. You'll want the bannered mare. See old Hulda. She'll keep you swimming in mead. But mind the bard, Mikael. Poncy little milk drinker, that one. Ah, man gives bards a bad name. We Nords have a long history as warrior poets. I am proud to count myself among them. But Mikael, he sings only for gold and the affections of wenches. He dishonors our traditions. May your sword be sharp, and your tongue sharper.
What is it? Dragons?
So sick. Can hardly stand it. The fever. My body burns.
Welcome, child. This is the Temple of Kinnareth. The Gildegreen outside was planted as a seedling in the early years of Whiterun. Disciples of Kinnareth could sense something holy in it, and traveled far to hear the winds of the goddess in its branches. Of course, not as many pilgrims these days. To the east of here is a hidden grove where the Eldergleam resides. It's the oldest living thing in Skyrim, maybe all of Tamriel. Our tree here in the city was grown from a cutting of that tree. You can still feel the glory of the mother tree through it. Even its name is an echo. I've thought about that. Trees like this never really die, they only slumber. I think if we had some of the sap from the parent tree, we could wake up its child. But even if you could get to the Eldergleam, you couldn't tap it, not with any normal metal. If you want to help, you'll need something to cut into it first.
So sick.
You'll have to deal with the Hag-Ravens. I've heard about a weapon they've made for sacrificing Spriggans. It's called Nettlebane. The hags terrify me, or I would have gone after it myself. Your spirit is strong. Kinnareth's winds will guide your path. It's held in a Hagraven nest called Orphan Rock.
The fever. My body burns.
So, have you gotten Nettlebane back from those filthy Hagravens yet? Indeed. The temple here in the city is my charge. The goddess's divine blessings have no doubt helped make Whiterun a thriving and prosperous city. After all, it is she who brings rain to our crops and fair weather on the harvest days. It's an old tree, very old. They say it was a seedling when the first men were arriving from Atmora, thousands of years ago. The sap is precious. It can restore barren fields or bring life to rocks. I can use it to repair the Gildergreen, so we can worship properly again. Somewhat, yes. At first it seemed a distant thing, heard only in the idle speech of guards and traders. When the wounded soldiers began to return from battle, I did what I could to help them. As more of the sick and injured came to the temple, my work as a healer became more important than my duties as a priestess. I wish only an end to the fighting, so that I can tend to the temple once more. Somewhat, yes. At first it seemed a distant thing. When the wounded, as more of the... I wish only an end to the fighting, so that I can tend to the temple once more.
Tell me, do you believe in mighty Arche, god of life and death? Well, as I said, Arche is the god of life and death. You'll find his temples and halls of the dead all across Tamriel. Priests of Arche, such as myself, perform rites for the dead and sometimes console the bereaved. We also keep a constant vigil against those who practice the vile arts of necromancy. I asked the question because I was hoping you might be able to help me recover something I've lost. My amulet of Arche. It's the source of my divine powers and also a sacred badge of office. I misplaced it in the catacombs. I'd look for it, but I have been hearing noises down there. I fear the dead have become restless. Without that amulet, I'm powerless to confront them. Would you be willing to search for it? I'll just wait here and make sure nothing foul escapes the catacombs. The blessing of Archay be upon you. I spend so much time among the dead, I sometimes forget how much I miss the company of the living. I spend so much time among the dead, I sometimes forget how much I miss the company of the living. I spend so much time. Oh, thank Arkay! Please, take this gold for your troubles. The blessing of Arkay be upon you. You and me, we're the only people around who aren't complete fools. With this terrible war, I'm a bit overwhelmed, as are the catacombs.
I ain't done nothing. Oh, thank you. Divines bless your kind heart. Only if I can help it. But damn if I ain't almost sober. Hey, in the Bannered Mare, there's this bottle of Argonian ale. The good stuff. Get it for me. They won't even know it's gone. Come on. Argonian ale. I can almost taste it. Well, that all depends on you now, doesn't it? Sure. Whatever.
Yes, Housecarl. We'll leave immediately. It's just us against the dragon. Is that it?
I can't afford to send anyone else. And we don't know where the dragon is. Your main job will be to keep an eye out and get the people to safety if the town is attacked. I don't expect the three of you to fight off the dragon by yourselves, but I do expect you to do your duty.
Of course. We'll keep Riverwood safe. You can count on it. Let's move out.
What are you looking at? I'm
We
not
can
afraid
never
of you,
rest easy, for
Even if you
Balgraf's
are my
enemies will not. Balgraf and I share a battle bond. We met as youth and forged our friendship in the fires of war. When he became Jarl, I insisted on serving as his protector. He had no cause to argue. Gods, you are curious. Almost dangerously so. I am charged with protecting the Jarl from any and all threats. Powerful men have many enemies, more so in times of strife, so you can imagine the dangers. Oh yes, there have been attempts on the Jarl's life. More than one would-be assassin has met his end at the tip of my blade. Take your pick. Dragons, Stormcloak assassins, ambitious and unscrupulous nobles. Sometimes I think his own children want him dead. And those are just the physical threats. Assaults on his sanity are another matter entirely. Every day he deals with obsequious functionaries and incompetent bureaucrats. Sadly, I'm not allowed to eliminate them. Well, not yet anyway. I've got my eyes on you.
I don't claim to be the best blacksmith, the finest weapons and armor. Don't forget to check inside the shop if you need anything.
I spend so much time among the dead, I sometimes forget how much I miss the company.
My favorite drinking buddies. Let's get some beers.
Have you met my father? Looking to protect yourself or deal some damage? Until next time. I help my father in more ways than people realize. That I do. I've got to, if I hope to be as good as Yorland Greymane someday. In fact, I just finished my best piece of work. It's a sword. I made it for the Jarl, Balgruf the Greater. It's a surprise. I don't even know if he'll accept it, but... Listen, could you take the sword to my father, Proventus Avenici? He's the Jarl's steward. He'll know the right time to present it to him. Thanks. Yes, actually. How about you smith me an iron dagger? Here's everything you need to make one. Go ahead. Plenty. I'd say we're prosperous enough. Most folk don't go hungry, if they're willing to work hard. The city's ruled by the Jarl up in Dragon's Reach. That's the fortress there, up on the tall hill. But you're probably more interested in your Vasker, Mead Hall of the Companions. Their deeds of war and valor are legendary. Don't forget to check inside the shop if you need anything.
Sometimes I miss the soldier's life, but when I hold my daughter in my arms, I know I made the right choice. My Sapphire doesn't like that I've been spending so much time looking for my father's old sword. He fed his entire family with the gold he made using that weapon. I'm not about to let it gather dust in some thief's trophy room. I tracked it to a group of bandits nearby, but I'm no fool. I'd need the Whiterun guards or maybe hire the companions to get it. I don't know why I'm saying this, but if you find it out in your travels, I'd be grateful to you. I can teach you a few things. No, I'm not. Looks like we've got something in common then. No, I'm a Redguard. My family hails from the Imperial Province. But I left home when I was just a lad. Been wandering ever since. If you find that sword... My wife's a good woman. She can be a little hard-headed sometimes,
Need
but
something?
I love her just the same.
I've got my eyes on you.
Ain't nobody high and mighty in these halls, except in the Jarl. And don't you forget.
I serve Jarl Balgruff as From Adrian? Ah, this must be that weapon for the Jarl. Poor girl. So eager to prove herself. I'll present it to Balgruff when his mood is agreeable. Thank you. Please, take these few coins for services rendered. Enjoy your visit to Dragon's Reach.
Today, you have come. You have come to hear the word of Talos. Because the so-called Emperor is a coward. That's right, I said coward! Oh yes, he agreed to banish the worship of Talos at the tip of an Aldmeri sword. They called it
the White Gold Concordat.
Well, I call it blasphemy. A true son of the Empire would never have turned his back on our greatest hero. Not at any price. Well, let me tell you something, friend. Cyrodiil is a long way from here, and in Skyrim, we will never forsake mighty Talos. Let them come. I have no fear, for Talos is my ally, and I am his prophet. His word is upon my lips, his voice in my throat. Hello, my friend. If you seek knowledge about mighty Talos, you have most certainly come to the right person. In mortal life, Talos was a Nord, possessed of unmatched tactical skill, limitless wisdom, and the power to see into men's hearts. Talos mastered the power of the voice, and with it he united the lands of men into a great empire. In southern lands, he was known by the name Tiber Septim. Here in Skyrim, we honor him by his proper Nord name. So great was his reign in life. When he ascended to the heavens, he was made Lord of the Divines. If you want to know more, I'm sure you can find any number of tomes on the subject. And what does the Empire do? Nothing! Nay, worse than nothing! The Imperial...
Mister, could you spare a coin?
What is it?
Against it all!
I'm so hungry.
I used to be an adventurer like Helgen. What is it? What is it? Dragons?
Rise up, Stormcloak!
There's a rift here in Skyrim. Can't neither magic nor the passing of time make it right. Evgir Onslaught has come at last. The season unending. War without end.
Looking for my husband, Nazim? Check the Jarl's backside. That's usually where he stuffs himself these days. Are you married? You look the type. Make sure you treat your wife with the respect she deserves. Here you stand, talking to a married woman. Why? Am I that interesting? Or perhaps there are other things on your mind? Men are all alike, from Skyrim to Hammerfell. They care only for war and politics, and treat their women like cattle.
Who are you? What are you doing here? Are you working with the Battleborns? Speak now before I put you in the ground. No? So you don't know anything about my brother? Then what are you doing here? Because they've got Thorald locked away somewhere, and if they find me here, I'll disappear too. I am not gonna let that happen. I can't do this all on my own. Are you offering to help me? I know that Thorald's not dead. I just know it. The Imperials have him and are keeping him somewhere, but I don't know where. Those damned Battleborns, they know something. They're hiding it. They practically taunt us with it. They must have some sort of proof. There's gotta be something in that house of theirs. I just know it. I don't dare leave the house myself, so I need your help. Anything that confirms that Thorald isn't dead, but is being held captive. I know those Battleborns have it. They'd be hiding it, of course. Wouldn't want it to get out that they've been lying this whole time. But you might be able to butter them up enough to lower their guard. The Battleborns, the Emperor's biggest bootlickers here in Whiterun. Their connections to the Empire and the Legion are well known. When Thorald didn't return home, there was no question in my mind. They knew Thorald supported the Stormcloaks, knew he was gonna aid them in battle, made sure he didn't come back. Locked him up someplace to get back at my family, I'm sure of it. Best if you didn't mention to anyone that you saw me here.
If only you could help bring my son back to me. It's hardly a secret that they have ties to the Empire and hate anyone who speaks out against it. Thorald did worse. He took action against the Empire, and the Battleborns knew it. It's hardly a secret that they have ties to the Empire and hate anyone. Thorald did worse. He's my son. I feel it in my heart. Oh, you'd understand if you had children. I can tell you're new around here asking a question like that. My husband Eorland tends the Skyforge up at Jorvaskr, the Companion's Mead Hall. Oh, there's no finer smith in the Nine Halls. You should ask him about his work. It's the only subject that'll get him talking. Well, that and maybe those stuck-up, dung-sniffing Battleborns. Head up the steps from the market and look to your right. Can't miss it. My husband, you should ask him. Well, that and don't even get me started on that lot. They put on airs like there's something special. Oh, sure, they've got money, but they ain't got a shred of honor between them. Grey Mane. Now that's a name fills you with pride. We've got roots in Whiterun. We've got history. You take care of yourself now.
Do you have news? Did you find something? Do you have news? Did you find something? Best if you didn't mention to anyone that you saw me here. Do you have news? Did you find something?
Hey,
You can't take that.
Yours.
You have committed crimes against Skyrim and her people. What say you in your defense? Smart man. Now, come along with us. We'll take any stolen goods, and you'll be free to go. After you pay the fine, of course.
Ain't nobody high and mighty in these halls, except in the Jarl. And don't you forget.
Rorikstead's a nice enough little hamlet, but a boring posting for a guard.
Be careful. What is it?
Well,
Dragons?
then it'd be a different story.
Fear not. Come dragon or giant, we'll be ready.
people! So rise up!
What are you looking at? I'm not afraid of you. No, even if you are my enemy.
You're someone who... Looking to protect yourself? Or deal some damage? Don't forget to check inside the shop if you need anything.
Hello, friend. In the mark... bows and arrows for the mighty huntsman. Thank you very much for your business.
Welcome to War Maidens. Now, blades, helmets, pretty much anything to suit your needs. Good doing business with you.
I work with my mother. Sell fruits and vegetables. It's fun mostly.
What is it, Imperial?
What's that? Do the elves speak?
Go cast your fancy magic someplace else.
What is it?
What is it? Dragons? Helgen. Destroyed by a dragon. Hard to believe, isn't it? Need a blade? You should talk to Adrian at the forge. No lollygagging. Disrespect the law and you disrespect me. I used to be an adventurer like you, and I took an arrow in the knee. Thinking of settling? In. There's a house for sale. Breeze home.
Old friend, patron of the great clan battle.
We, not the elves or their ponies, will rule.
I spend a lot of time at the market stall so I can learn the merchant's trade.
We've got to sell as much as we can, as soon as we can.
That's what you always say.
Welcome to War Maiden. Blades, helmets, pretty much anything to suit your needs. Good doing business with you. We've got small weapons. Adrian, at her forge, just outside. Place is named after her. War Maidens. It's a childhood nickname given by her father. What I hear, she was playing with swords even back then. Anyway, our wares are strong and the price is fair. What else matters? That'll be the Jarl, Balgruf the Greater. He's an honorable enough man. Never done wrong by me or my kin. Things are tough for him now, I'd wager. What with the fighting and the dragons. But Balgruf's a tough old Nord. He can handle it. All right then.
Got some good, the finest weapons and armor. Don't forget to check inside the shop if you need anything.
Hello, friend. Bows and arrows for the mighty huntsman. Yes, I hear that question often. My brother Honorius and I came up with it one night after consuming rather too much mead. After our drinks, we went out for a moonlight hunt. We got separated, and in his drunken state, my brother mistook me for a deer. He shot an arrow that pierced my, well, rump. After such a memorable adventure, we knew we had the name for our shop. Try Hulda, the innkeeper at the Bannered Mare. It's just up the road near the market. You should check in at Dragon's Reach too. There's so much going on these days. The Jarl or his steward might have need of help. Thank you very much for your business. Do you get to the Cloud District very often? Oh, what am I saying? Of course you don't. Oh, it took years, but I earned my way to the top. I own Chilfero Farm, you see. Very successful business, obviously. I actually advise the Jarl on political matters. My input is invaluable, of course, but this is all probably a bit over your head. Speak. Make it quick.
Blade and shadow, silence and death. These are my arts. For a modest fee, I'll make great art for you. I am an artisan, painting in strokes of blood red upon the canvas of life. But yes, I will take coin to fight at your side. After all, where is the value in creating art if there is nobody left alive to see it? If you change your mind, seek me out here. Walk always in shadows, so that you will see your foes before they see you.
Yes? We'll have to have a pint together sometime, you and me.
Huh? Hello, friend. In the market for some hunting supplies?
I don't claim to be the best blacksmith in Whiterun. Jorland Greymane's got that honor. Man steel is legend. All I ask was a Don't forget to check inside.
Pardon me, but do I detect a case of the rattles? I've got something for that. Ah, splendid, splendid. It's for a special brew I'm working on. A love elixir like none other. Maybe I'll test it on Farengar first. Oh, but I suppose you expect some compensation. Here. These potions should suffice. Of a sort. I don't have formal training in the Restoration School, but something just as good. Within these walls, I have all that I need to brew a potion for nearly any ailment. If I had a septum for every case of rock joint or whitbane I've cured since I opened this shop, I'd be a rich woman indeed. Why? Because I'm a proud citizen of the Empire? Because the Stormcloaks only want Nords in Skyrim? The Stormcloaks can rot in oblivion for all I care. I've lived in this city for 20 years. 20! I think I can teach you a thing or two. Come back. What do you need, my friend? All right, then. You look rather pale. Could be ataxia. It's quite a problem back home in Cyrodiil. Pardon me, but do I detect a case of the rattles? I've got something for that. Look rather pale. Could be ataxia. It's quite a problem back home in Cyrodiil.
on in. We got warm food, warm drinks, and warm beds.
Mister, could you spare a coin? Oh, thank you. Divines, bless your kind heart.
Once I've made enough money trading with the Khajiit caravans, I'm going to buy the bannered mare from Hulda.
Idea, dear?
Yes, Mum?
Before my ma and Da passed, I told them that one day I'd become the best trader in Skyrim.
Of course, Mum.
I met one of the caravan leaders, Madran. He said he'd help me get started if I could bring him a mammoth's tusk. Easier said than done. You'd do that? If you find one, I could teach you a thing or two about trading. Help you get a fair bargain in the future? Yeah, these Khajiit make a living traveling the roads and selling their wares. It's got to be tough. Skyrim's a hard enough land when you've got a roof over your head. Worst thing is, nobody wants them in the cities. Nobody trusts them. Reputation mostly. A lot of Khajiit turn to smuggling and thievery to get by. A few bad apples spoil the bunch. You know how it is. About the same as everyone else. They're the catfolk of Elsewhere. Great warriors, good traders. Way I hear it, Elsewhere ain't nothing like Skyrim. It's got tropical forests and dusty badlands. It sounds awful. Yeah, these Khajiit make a... It's got to be tough. Skyrim... Worst thing is... Nope. Matter of fact, I do. They've been fair enough with me, far as I can tell. And a Nord knows a liar when she sees one. Farewell.
You know what's wrong with Skyrim these days? Everyone is obsessed with death. Your sword be sharp. People have forgotten humor, poetry, and romance. Oh, come on. Leave it alone. He's gone. There's no use in talking about it anymore. I wish everyone could just get past that and get on with their lives. Keep a song in your heart and a blade
I enjoy
in your
this
boot.
work well enough, but I'm ready to retire. I've been thinking of selling the inn to Isolda. Anyway, what do you need? People say there is someone in Riften that can change your face, make you look completely different. Do you believe that? The companions? In Jorvaskr? They're recruiting new members from what I hear. Magic is for the weak. Elves, I mean. They keep to that college in Winterhold. They know their place. Of course, there is Farengar. He might be the Jarl's wizard, but at least he's a Nord. I should have guessed as much. Your kind sticks to that college in Winterhold, as well they should. You'd never think to learn from a Nord like the Jarl's wizard. Drinks for the thirsty, food for the hungry. Need anything else? Just let me know.
But this land is ours, and we'll
Yes.
see it wiped clean of the scourge that has
It's been a while now.
our hopes
I miss him, but it's clear he's not coming back. He knew what he was getting into. I don't blame anyone. If you need a drink, just holler.
My favorite drinking buddy. Let's get some mead. Sure, whatever.
If it's work you're looking for? Hulda's. Depends. Are you thirsty? Hungry? Now please, no more questions. If you need more food or drink, speak to Hulda. Mind your manners and pay your bills, and you'll always be welcome.
This is an ode to Skyrim's staunch protectors, the Imperials. We drink to our youth, to days come and gone, for the age of aggression is just about done. We'll drive out the stormcloaks and restore what we own. With our blood and our steel, we will take back our home. Down with Ulfric, the killer of kings. On the day of your death, we will drink and we'll sing. We're the children of Skyrim, and we fight all our lives. And when some guard beckons, every one of us dies. But this land
Need
is
something?
ours, and we'll see it wiped clean of the scourge that has sullied our hopes and our...
The security in Whiterun is terrible. Shameful is what it is.
If it's a lady you're looking for, you best look elsewhere. Once Mikhail gets them, they're got. Some parting advice? Women love...
You know what's wrong with Sky? Man, we Nords have a long history, but Mikhail, he sings only for gold and the affections of wenches.
I'm a bard by trade.
He dishonors
you've
our
heard of me.
traditions.
I'm a bard, trained at the Bard's College in Solitude. Wanderers like you should think about applying. There's a whole college up in Solitude where they teach the arts. Song, lute playing, poetry. I studied there myself. Had to leave over a misunderstanding with a headmistress. Well, more a misunderstanding with her husband. Sure. What can I do for you? Sure. My voice could use a rest.
People have forgotten humor, poetry, and romance. I love a good sword fight as much
If
as
it's
the
work
next
you're
man.
looking for,
But there's more
Hulda's
to
the one
life.
to talk to.
Keep a
Now
song
please,
in your
no
heart,
more questions.
a blade in your boot.
If you need more food or drink, speak to Hulda. If you need more food or drink, speak to Hulda.
Think you can go blade to blade with me? You'd be dead in 6 seconds. The heat of the battle is the fire that forges the strongest blades. It's an old Nord proverb. That, and a true Nord never misses a chance to test her worth. You've been talking to those companions? Too hot-headed, they cried. Weak, pathetic cowards, the lot of them. It wasn't my fault. I told them over and over that it was an accident. They wanted me to prove my worth. So they threw me up against a young whelp of a lad, hardly old enough to grow his first chin hairs. I guess they thought a woman wasn't strong enough to hurt him. I didn't mean for him to die. Why would I want that? I just lost control. Good. Chat time's over. Want to hear a little no— And why not? I could beat anyone in this city. Barehanded. 100 gold says I knock your hide to the ground. Just fists. No weapons, no magic, no crying. Let's go. Come on. Never should have come. That's the best you can do? Now that's what I call a punch. You got me. Stand there and take it? Fight back! Who taught you to fight? You're no liar. Best fight I've had in years. There you are. You're no liar. Best fight I've had in years. There you are. Keep walking, Softgut. I'm more woman than you can handle. Good. Chat time's over.
If it's work you're looking for, Hulda's the one to talk to.
What is it? Dragons?
Why are you looking? Well, would you look at that? Argonian ale. My thanks, friend. Here, take this here healing potion. I, found it in the temple. Not anymore, thanks to you, friend. Sure, whatever. That Heimskir's crazy. Him and his talk of Talos. We should just shut up. I know.
Helgen, destroyed by a dragon. Hard to believe.
Stormcloaks, Imperials, dragons. Ain't no matter to me what I kill.